checks to the man and crawl back in the hole. Yo, I can turn the dirt into gold. Just take a little slice of heaven and bring it right back home. The price of easy living is a bit of your soul. No appliances in your kitchen, televisions and phones, and a nice silk sheet set to fold. You poor thing, I hate to see you living so damn cold.
Whiteout conditions throughout the Great Plains sure made travel difficult, but we're still expecting a full house at Empower Field at Mile High here in Denver. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. From his end zone, Marvin Mims. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's... marked down officially at the 21. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. He'll look to throw. He'll get this one to Cobb, complete. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. The Broncos at 2-12 in what has been a tough year. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Short throw caught by Dulcich. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beating them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
You look at this Raiders defense. They were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy. No surprise I knew he was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He completes this to Sutton. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the 2 of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
Escaping the pressure, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Max Crosby racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. They'll set up to throw. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
The Broncos send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. A first run now for Kyron Williams. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. Well, these two teams met in Vegas earlier in the season with the Raiders winning that ball game. So they're looking for the series sweep here in Denver. Throwing is Hurts. And it's complete to Adams. It's a big play there for Vegas. 61 yards.
Oh, big-time credit. What a play design there. They wanted to get him loose in the open field, and they succeeded. He had all sorts of room to operate in, and they finally track him down inside the 5-yard line.
A loss of 2 there, second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal. It'll be Hurts on the option. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jalen Hurts keeping it himself from 5 yards out. And the Raiders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. You look at this Raiders defense. They were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago. One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is fourth down. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 33. Back to throw again. That'll be caught. It's Cup. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And his throw is incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Well, I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown, and their last time out looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll leave them with 3rd and a full yard to go. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. On 3rd down, here's Williams. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. Now, this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals.
He's got a man, complete. A huge play there for Denver, 44 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving improving this season, that catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Partner, when you see a screen pass and the defensive tackle ends up making the play, you know that one wasn't sold well at all, because he should be upfield by the time you throw the pass. If not, you end up with big trouble, as we just saw right there.
Second and 13. Out of his hands quickly to Pittman. That'll give him 8 that time, and it's 3rd and 4 now.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now we give up the middle to Williams. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Jordan Brooks on the tackle.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Second and 10. He'll drop to throw. Throw left side, complete to Cup. They'll give him 4 yards there. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Flush to his right. That is caught. Touchdown, Broncos. Michael Pittman, his 11th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead.
When you give up a long touchdown drive, you're looking for a silver lining. In this case, it's the fact that your offense had a chance to rest, and now they can come out in the field charged up and ready to go.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-7. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Here's 2nd and 10. Hurts. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. And that will be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Finds Dulcich out left side. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Williams going to get it again on second down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all. Challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box, we'll be sending you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That'll be caught by Kupp. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 31-yard line. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Back to throw now on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Throw to the right, caught by Dulcich. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 16 yards to the 16 and a first down.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Flushed out right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
Now a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And the Broncos are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains, Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And the Raiders are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight, and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as...
And it's intercepted. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Got his man, it's Dulcich. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Sutton. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. It's the fullback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Broncos will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back, Charles and I. Number 3. Rocky Mountain snow looks like it's going to continue through this second half as we are back underway in Denver. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34. Now Hurts changing up the play. Now an option play on 2nd down. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good chunk on the ground on the keeper, 17 yards, first down. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Pass complete right side to Bowers. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 17 more yards. They had 17 on the previous snap as well.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Short throw caught by Bowers.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Oh, and that is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And this is going to be no good. He misses it off to the left, and they will not cut into that 10-point lead.
Just too many mistakes in all phases of the game. Still, you've got a chance to get this back to a one-score game here in the third quarter. You've got to be able to convert here. Instead, it comes up empty.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Back to throw here. He'll get this one to Pittman. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now 2nd and 5. They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
3rd and inches, they just hand it to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around, hand it to the big fella, and let him get forward for a first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 2nd and 5. And he's got his man on the out route. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They'll set up a throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
I thought at first he'd try to run, but he just kept buying time to his right. Finally, nothing there. He wisely gets rid of it.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Mike 20. Let's go, baby. They turn up. Get that ball. Get that ball.
They're going to look to throw. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Greg Dulcich from 13 yards out. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point safely through. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Well, this is where the mile-high air really starts to affect an opposing offense. Guys moving a bit slowly here. It's 3rd and long. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. But first down hurts.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Hurts throw complete there to Thomas. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 23. That one goes for 24 yards. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. A leap, and he's got it. A great play there. Finding a way to get the feet down. And the Raiders have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead down to 10, 24-14. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Yeah, that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
He can really smell 800 catches right now because that last one puts him at 799, knocking on the door. Hands it off out of the gun. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important third down.
Now back to throw. And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And they'll be set up with great field position as this is going to be touchdown right at the 40-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That's into the hands of his tight end, Bowers. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
Oh, this defense knows. Fourth quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. And that one really pushes him back. A loss of 9. And now it's third and goal after the sack. They'll look to throw here. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Brock Bowers from 19 yards away. And the Raiders have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. This game is really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim one-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here, otherwise they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
He was looking for Michael Pittman that time.
And that'll bring up 2nd down. Looking to throw. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Kupp. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And down inside the 40 to about the 38.
50 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
Oh, no, he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. It's 2nd down.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Another incompletion would certainly be ideal defensively. A big play now. This is 3rd and 10. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
And this is going to be no good. He missed it off to the left, and that will keep this a 3-point game. Maybe an important 4th quarter miss as this stays a 3-point game.
Yeah, now overtime is very much in the equation here. Just what you mentioned, a 3-point game. They get a drive, put it through the posts. We could have some free football, couldn't we?
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, they didn't fall behind any further thanks to that missed field goal, but still staring at this fourth quarter deficit. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Throwing is Hurts. That's to Bowers once again. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. They'll drop to throw. And that's complete to Adams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. They run it again with Williams. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
He'll look to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Here's 1st and goal. Williams will take this one in for a Vegas touchdown.
And this is the time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with a touchdown run to take the lead.
Point after, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the fourth.
Man, you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
Back to throw. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
And he'll take this down to the 33.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee.
An excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for Las Vegas,
they continue to rack up the victories as this one moves them to 13-2 on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, things get even uglier now as they fall to 2-13. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road.
Homie got a pump cause he got no. Homie say trippin' cause I got no funds. Homie got a pump cause he got no. Homie say trippin' cause I got no funds. Homie got a bump with it ain't not fun. Boy, I got a bump with it ain't not fun. Boy, I got a bump with it ain't not fun. Boy, I got a bump.